quite interesting. Here is our anchor buoy. Very little wind and maybe some current here or something, but there is our anchor. Right now we are in Cascais, outside Lisbon. Yeah, we arrived here a few days ago, been taking it quite calm. I had like a massive migraine one day, so that was just the day gone. We didn't do anything, but then we're continuing working on the boat and preparing for upcoming sail to Madeira and then the Atlantic crossing as well. Tomorrow we're also gonna sail into Lisbon and visit Erika, who joined us from Germany to Spain, and go on a Swedish crayfish party, which will be so much fun. And also very fun to see Lisbon. And today it is quite windy outside and a lot of gusts. Quite fun with all the activity outside here. There's dinghy sailing, wing foil, foiling windsurfing boards. And what project are you up to here?
I'm about to start to remove this washing machine, which we thought was pretty cool when we bought about. But we don't even know if it's working. We haven't even tested it. Mainly because we haven't really had the need of it, and it has not really been prioritized. We kind of come to the conclusion that we won't really need a washing machine, because when we need to do laundry, we will most likely have quite a lot of laundry. And doing all that laundry in this small machine will take forever and use a lot of water and a lot of electricity. We have decided to remove it actually. And instead we bought a combined freezer, or you can run it either as a freezer or a fridge. A pre-made box with a compressor and everything. That we're gonna install here instead. So we will have somewhere where we can freeze stuff, and we'll also have redundancy in, as you can run it as a fridge as well. We'll have redundancy to our other fridge, which is pretty old, and we don't really know how long it will last. So we're getting there. Out.
Lucas here! Hello! Back on the boat! Right now we are on our way back to Cascais after a few days in Lisbon. So we're gonna spend some more days in Cascais and anchor. Quite good anchorage out there, and it's for free. A lot of marinas from Lisbon area and south are quite expensive, so it's good with an anchorage. And it's a quite gusty sail today.
It's 28 knots of wind.
So we have the second reef and the jib up. Soon arrive to the anchorage, and then it will probably be some anchor watch tonight, as it's gonna continue to be quite windy and gusty all night. It is always something, isn't it?
Yeah. So we were just about to drop anchor, or we were actually just about to take down the sails to drop anchor, and it was pretty windy, and then we just realized when we were running the engine that we didn't get any cooling water out of the exhaust. It was pretty windy, so we were quite close to the anchorage. We just had to kind of continue to run the motor. We monitored the temperature all the time and just drop the anchor as quickly as possible. we're not fully sure what happened, but we have had some problems with our seawater filter. It's very difficult to get it completely sealed. We're not sure if that's what happened, but we also have the impeller now completely torn into pieces, but that could also just be a consequence of it running hot. Now we need to find all the pieces, missing pieces, so that they haven't ended up in a bad place somewhere.
So what's the engine status?
Yeah, we tried to find the missing pieces of the impeller and also tried to understand the reason why it broke down. We found some pieces there, most of them have probably ended up at the oil cooler. You can feel them at the beginning of the oil cooler if you put your finger in them, but it's very, very difficult to get them out. We got some out, but definitely not all of them. We don't really have all the things to pull the oil cooler apart right now, so we will actually leave it like this. We think it will be fine anyway. It's quite a big passage there, and they are definitely not blocking a big part of it, so hopefully they just stay there until later. Yeah, we put in a new impeller, and we think the reason for why this happened was that, I think I mentioned it before as well, that we have had some problems with the seawater filter or the seawater strainer, that it's not sealing properly. I don't know, we spent a lot of time on this before because we didn't manage it to seal, and we tried it in so many different positions and tried to figure out what the problem was, and then eventually we just got it to work, and we don't really know how actually. But I had a look at it again now, and I think we have actually, there's these super small slots that the strainer should be like slotted into when you place it in there. I think it's a bit related due to the position where our filter is, because it's quite difficult to see it from top when it's under the sink. So basically I think we put the strainer in wrong, so it didn't really seal properly. And I think yesterday when we ran, it was quite windy, so we ran the engine when we were just about to take down the sails, and then we were heeling over quite a lot. And I think that might have caused yeah, I don't know, it sipped in air, I guess. And maybe the impeller was bad already from before, I don't know. But then we had to continue to run it to just get to a place where we could drop the anchor. I guess the last part of the impeller just broke down there. But it's a bit hard to know what happened first, if it was the sea strainer, if that one is even involved at all, or if it was just the impeller that broke down. But the thing is that the impeller is not that old. Now we've done some tests on the sea strainer, now open it up, closed it, open up, closed it, when we knew found this small slot, and now it seems to work every time, so I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on it. When we had the engine out, we changed some filters as well, and changed the air filter and the crankcase ventilation filter, because we never changed them before, so these two guys. Great, so let's put everything back together.
Mm-hmm.
Cross our fingers.
Yeah. What are you doing now?
I'm going to glue the lid. We're also glue shimming some supports in the bottom here to get it in the correct position for the lid to seal properly.
It's a great day, but hopefully it's gonna be a fun day anyway, because we're gonna go on an excursion to Sintra. We're gonna take the bus there and explore the town a bit, which is supposed to be very beautiful. So path is getting narrower and narrower.
Quite a climb, huh?
Yeah.
It continues.
Now we're actually walking a horizontal path, not just up, 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 up.
Yeah, maybe still a bit up, but not as much up. It's been so far. But this was an amazing place.
Yeah, I'm really glad we took the walk.
We didn't even expect it to be anything here. We just expected it to be a path up to the
castle and the ruins.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the main attraction, but I have to say this, whatever garden-ish or whatever you want to call it, was super cool.
On our way back to the village, there were some trails around the palace. We thought you could walk around them, but you had to pay an entrance fee to walk around the trails around the castle. But the walk up here was amazing anyway.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
And we have already bought a ticket to another place, some cool garden place. It's only one entrance ticket for us for one day.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's time to walk back and have lunch in the historical part of Sintra, or was it called something else? Or?
Historic center, I think.
Yeah, probably quite touristy. It was a bit fun because we took some backtrack up there when we walked there, and it felt like we were completely alone in some, I don't know, very isolated place. And then we just, from one street to another we walked into, we entered like the touristy parts, and then there was
a lot of people.
tons of people and like busloads of people just getting dropped off there.
That was the hill we didn't see yesterday, or the pallets at the hill we couldn't see yesterday because it was so much fog when we were in Sintra. Now we're close to Sintra on a little shopping trip. We borrowed Erika's car.
So we got the new fridge in place and just started it up. It's already like frosty on the inside. And really fast.
Be nice with varnished wood.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. Let's see if it managed to work as a freezer as well. Okay, so yesterday was a really long day. We borrowed Erika's car and we went around all over Lisbon, it felt like, buying different stuff, small thingies, and also handed in our sail, our jib. We changed from furling to hanks before we left, but those the ice that was put into the sail, they started to come loose because it wasn't really reinforced enough. Anyhow, we handed that in to a sailmaker. It was actually a bit funny because we were a bit in stress, obviously. We didn't have that much time, and they had said like, yeah, you can leave it here for 2 weeks and then you come back, but like in 2 weeks we will, I'm not sure if we are like in Madeira, or maybe we already left from Madeira, but they were actually really nice. They let us remove all the hanks and remove all the ice to reduce the time for them to do the reinforcements with the sewing machine that we don't have, so we cannot really do that ourselves. Another thing we did yesterday was that we picked up some parts that we had ordered. And one of them being this box, which is our new windlass. Decided to buy a new windlass because the one that we have right now is part of our hydraulic system, so it's an hydraulic windlass, and that hydraulic unit is also powering our general winches and also before the lifting keel that we have removed. The thing is that with that whole hydraulic system is that it's very old. The actual hydraulic unit started to leak a bit in the valve pack. Also the hydraulic motor for the windlass is leaking a little bit, and it's also pretty corroded, and yeah. And also when it started to leak, we started to use the general winches by hand instead, winching them normally instead of with the hydraulics. That turned out to be quite nice actually. We kind of like that because you get a better feeling and of the forces in the lines and how much tension it is in them. So we think we're gonna continue to use it that way, basically removing all that hydraulics. And because of that, we bought a new windlass, basically. We could probably have kept that alive for a while, but it's a bit risky, and it's also quite not so nice with hydraulic leaks. We had one leak when it started, when the hydraulic unit started to leak, and that, I mean, you get hydraulic oil pretty much everywhere, and it's pretty difficult to get it away, and yeah. I think we made the right decision. So this is our new windlass. Not sure when we're gonna install it yet, but we're just gonna make sure that it fits and it's the right thing. And then we're probably gonna stow it away and deal with this later.
We're still in Cascais. good, right?
I think so, yeah. So finally it's time to start up our water maker for the first time. It's taken quite some time to install it, mainly because we have had the difficulties finding a good spot to place the different components, and then we've been lacking some material and yeah, this and that. But I think we're ready to test run it, even though there are some some final installations to be done. But I think we can at least run it to see if it works. And this is a unit that we bought second-hand, so we actually don't even know if it works, which is a bit risky maybe.
We bought the new osmosis filter for it.
Yeah, the membrane was quite old, so we have bought a new membrane. But now the old membrane is still in actually, so we're gonna just run it with that one now when we start it up, and then we'll change it when we know that everything is working. So first step will be that we're gonna just run the booster pump to let water through the system to the high pressure pump. Then we're gonna run the high pressure pump, but not leading the water directly to the pressure regulator. So we will basically flush all the parts of the system to get out any potential debris that is in there. Let's start. Okay, so now I have the feed hose to the high pressure pump primed and installed. So now we're going to run the high pressure pump and keep it open before the membrane to clean that hose, and then we will clean the next hose, and then we'll connect everything and try to see if we can make any fresh water. Anything coming?
A little bit. I don't know how it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. That's quite a lot, huh? Okay, so now we have flushed all the hose segments and we have connected everything, and it's time to pressurize the membrane for the first time and see if we produce any fresh water. Exciting! No salt. I think the flow should be a bit higher, but we're still running on this old membrane that we don't even know how old it is, so hopefully the membrane change will get the flow up a bit. Otherwise it seems to work fine.